Please, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Prosper Doji, and I am a poultry farmer.
Okay, so we are about to enter 2026. People
Yeah.
want to start poultry farm. I want to help us to so that somebody wants to start poultry farm, we can guide their person.
Okay.
So what inspired you to start poultry farm?
Okay. It's a very lucrative business, and then it's a business that can change life if you do it very well. Yes, it's a job on its own and its pace when you do it very well. So that is what kicked me in.
Enter into that.
Yes.
Okay. So if somebody say poultry farm, is it profitable?
Yeah, it's profitable. In every business, when you do it well, it's profitable. Just that poultry is capital intensive. You need a lot of money to invest. That is one thing. So you have to be ready before you enter. I mean, people can just get up and I want to maybe enter into poultry farming without doing any research or any consultation. Sometimes before you do some of these stuff, you have to have a role model or let's say an expert who is already in the business for the person to lecture you on the do's and don'ts. You don't just get up because they say poultry farm is profitable and then you go and put your money in it. No, you have to ask for them to psych your mind, tell you what exactly you need to do, how you need to start it. That is the best advice.
Okay, so any information that somebody to need to get before getting into poultry farming, I want you to give us through this interview.
All right. So yes, it's best you get someone who knows the job and
Okay.
has been in it for some time. Work experience is very important. You understand?
Okay.
It's like maybe learning how to drive on YouTube. It's different from you giving me like the car being given to you.
Yeah,
You
sure.
understand the thing? So the same thing. You can learn, maybe watch videos on TikTok, maybe on YouTube, blah blah blah. Fine. But at the end of the day, you need to have someone who is on the field. That person is the right person. He or she will tell you what exactly it takes. He or she will give you the best advice. And then you also have to come on the field. You see it and you know, no, this is how it is before you enter. So that is it.
Okay, so you want to start. What thing that I need to get before I can start?
Okay. Normally, everything we do it on land. Everything we do it on land. So the first thing when you want to start a poultry farm, you get your land. You understand? You make sure the place you get is not a waterlogged area. You have to get where the place is flat. I mean, it's sandy, so that it doesn't give you any issue. Yes, because one thing about the poultry structure is that when you don't do it well along the line, it will create problem for you and the birds. And when it create problem for the birds, know that it's a profit that is going because you are going to buy a lot of medications. So it's advisable you get a good land, mostly the sandy places, not where there is waterlogged. No, that one it will give you a problem because the room will always be wet. So after that, then you just get a good professionals that will do your structure for you. Because the structures, you can see this one. You know, it's well properly planned,
Sure.
very spacious. You get it. So this structure will last for a longer time before it starts deteriorating. Yes, that is it. So you don't just get up and then maybe, oh, you want to do poultry farm just in the area. Sometimes you have to get the right area for the business. So that is it. From the land, you start with your structure. From the structure, where you book your best. There's a lot of companies that, I mean, that bring best to Ghana. And we have locally hatch chickens and we have foreign ones. So it depends on the owner, the particular one he or she wants to go for. So you have a lot of companies in Ghana. Let's say Cupes, we have a Risenco, we have Holland Akoko, we have quite some number of them. You understand? So it depends on the owner where he or she wants to book it, whether it is local or it is a foreign bed. It depends on the owner. Then from there, after booking, I mean, then you get expert that will do your brooding for. That's the crucial stage. That is where the problem is. So because if it's more or less like a baby, in that stage, in the night like this, you hardly sleep because you have to monitor the temperature and everything. And normally it has to take you between 2 to 3 weeks for you to be done with it properly. So I think so far, so good. That is the little I can share for now.
Okay, so this one them tripping. I know that like form of advert. I think it's a person that's like yeah, in the other one, more education. Yeah, more education. People know that. Say the person they will call you.
Okay.
Yeah, like yeah, more education. People won't in you.
Okay.
Yeah, there, yeah, or there,
Okay. 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 All right.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh no,
Sure.
forget. No problem.
Sure.
My,
No problem. So I should talk more about what I'm
Educa-
doing.
No, I talk more about the practical thing of this thing.
Yes, so that is what I am
Yeah,
about to
so
say.
practical thing.
Practical, yeah, practical lesson is the work here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
about brooding like this that I've said. It's about the vaccination, the
Okay.
feeding,
But I will ask.
the number of drinkers that are needed,
Uh,
the management.
okay. I will
Yes.
say okay.
Yeah.
A personal. I'm person. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. It do for breeding state. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So after the person buy the land, do the
Structure.
starter, you go for the bed.
You go book for the best. The company will give you a date. Then you start preparing your room for the new beds. That is the
Okay.
chickens,
Okay.
the day old chicks. You know, normally brooding, we have to have a confined room where you have a special, maybe you can cover it with maybe a rubber, or maybe you have a special brooder house. That is what then after brooding, then you can transfer them into the plain one.
Okay.
Yes,
So
so
the breeding will take how long?
the brooding normally is for 4 weeks, but it's the first 2 weeks that is very intensive.
So the 4 weeks, can you take out to the 4 weeks?
Okay, so what happens is when they come on the very first day, for that one, there are some key things that you have to know. Yes, one, you provide them with heat. Secondly, you make sure you don't sleep because you'll be monitoring the temperature.
Okay.
You know, it starts between 35 to 38. You have to be constant because if you don't do that, and then maybe temperature falls, the fowls are going to die. Yes, so it's going to be a constant something, and as the days passes by, then you keep reducing the temperature because by then they are building feathers. The feathers provide heat. Yes, so as they are building, then you start reducing. So with the brooding, one, we have a lot of way we do brooding. We have infrared lights. Some use charcoal in cool pots, some use pots, some use gas cylinders. You understand? So it depends on the owner, whoever wants to invest, the method he or she wants to use. You understand? So along that line, if it is gas, you start reducing. As they start growing, and you realize they start getting feathers. And you know, in this stage, there's a lot of medications that we use. So let's say on the first day, normally we give them glucose. What is glucose? Glucose is something, it provides instant heat, strength to the best, instant energy. That is what it does. So as soon as maybe they have to pick the best from Accra or Kumasi to whatever your location is, when the best come, they are stressed. So you have to give them glucose instantly. Then it provides them with what? Instant energy for them to start moving around. And then along that line too, we have feed. The feed has its stages. So when they come, we have normally I go by strictly kujis because they are very good.
Okay.
Okay, so when they come, yeah, we have something we call the magic feed. So that one is in 25 kg. So that is what we use for the first 7 days. Then from the first 7 days, we go to the chick starter. That one we use it for 4 weeks. Then it moves to grower. Then we use it the grower up to the end of the 9th week. So at the end, when we begin the 10th week, then we go to developer. Developer goes up to the end of the 17th week. Then 17th to 19th, the end of 19th, then use pre-layer. So by the time maybe you switch to the pre-layer, that's around 15, no, in between 15 to 17, we should pick egg. For example, like currently here, we pick eggs exactly on the 15th week.
15 years.
Yeah, 15th week.
Then we will come on there. So
Yes.
let's go back to the breeding stage. So if you enter the place and the temperature is too high, how do you able to?
Okay, so this is a practical example. When you enter the place and realize that the heat is too much, one, you need to have a thermometer in the place.
Okay.
So the thermometer is what will show the temperature.
Okay.
And you have to also feel it as a human being that maybe the temperature is too much. So when it's too much, what do? You open any space, let's say window, if it's a rubber, you fold it up for ventilation to come in. That is what you have to do. Then the heat, when you realize that the heat is trying to what? Normalize, then you put the rubber back again because there has to be a constant figure, let's say temperature rate that the room needs to have. So that is what happens.
Okay. Apart from what you are saying, what about the bed? They will show any sign that the place is hot or something?
Yes. Wow, this is a nice question. So when the place is too hot, you see that they will start opening their mouth. They open their mouth. So as soon as you see their mouth being opened, they realize that the room is hot, too hot.
Hot, okay.
Yes. That is people that don't have the temperature there. You understand? But when you have the temperature, strictly go by that. And you could see signs. You could see them. So as soon as they start maybe panting, you see them maybe breathing fast, then you realize that is the reason. That means there's too much hot heat there.
Okay.
And when the place is too cold too, you see that they are not evenly separated. They'll gather at one place, they'll be down, they'll be slow. You'll not see them running. They realize that your temperature is down. And if you don't take care, when the temperature is low, that's when you lose your best.
Okay.
Yes, so always you have to make sure you maintain the standardized temperature rate for them. As they keep going, then you keep reducing gradually every day. You keep reducing. Normally we do it in weeks. For example, let's just say with the feed, it's in weeks. You get it, and then with the feed calculation, to every bed there's a gram they take. First week when they come like this, they take 14.5 grams per every bed. So, for example, like every fowl in this room, I know what they take a day.
Okay.
Yes, because every week we have a standard figure that we use to calculate it to give you a range, to give you a fair idea of what you are doing. So that is what happens practically in the breeding stage. Then when it comes to the medication site, after the instant distance, then one, you can antibiotic vitamin. You continue. There's a number of days that you give it. From there, you give your plain water, you go to pure vitamin. And there are some key medications that you need to have in the brooder house. One, your glucose. Two, your antibiotic vitamin. Three, you need to have your coccidiostat. That is anything in the form of cocci. There's a lot of drugs out there. These are key things that you need to have. You need to have your patholite. That is disinfectant. That is what drives the viruses away against infection. So during those times, you always have to spray the area, keep it serene. You don't allow people in. During this brooding stage, it's a very crucial stage that you don't just allow people in. A lot of people don't go there. Just some little people that are dedicated to that place, because the more you bring the people in, the more infection you are exposing the birds to. So that is what happens there.
Okay, so the Buddhist, do you able to, if I do, is it possible that I can use that some of the best?
Yes, it's possible. Yes. So normally, before the transportation from whether the airport, whether the factory where they hatch the birds to your farm, you are likely to lose some of them. One, first factor, under stress. Two, transportation problems. Maybe they were packed too much, so the heat. So you can lose some in that process. And then when they come, those offloading, that's another problem. Some can mistakenly maybe step on them or something. Yes. So in brooding, yes, there is always a chance of 1% of mortality. You put that one at the back of your mind. So whatever figure you have, just that, because the weak ones will go out of it.
Okay.
The weak ones will definitely die out of it. So there are cases where, when the birds are more, you are likely to lose quite some number. But when they are small, normally people say, oh, me, I brooded some maybe 100 birds, or I didn't lose anything. Fine, because they are small. The number is small. So, I mean, whatever they need is this thing. We can do brooding. Yes, that at the end of the day, we just have a lesser figure. That is when you get all these things intact. You get it? And that is what we do. So that is why we want people to patronage our services, because in brooding, we give it all out. We make sure low mortality. I mean, we get lesser than whatever is required. Even sometimes it can become zero, because everything that with the drugs are there. I mean, the management, everything is on point. Then the whole team delivers. So
Okay.
that is it.
Okay, so the local bird and foreign bird, which one you go for?
All right.
Based on your experience.
That is a personal question, but I prefer the foreign one. My
Wow.
reason is, they have the higher resistance to most of our environmental distance, and their laying cycle sometimes extends more. Their egg is always bigger. With the local ones, fine, it is nice, but sometimes how they deal with them at the hatchery, you understand? When you're comparing them and then the foreign ones, you can see that the foreign ones are higher laying distance more than the local ones. And sometimes the local ones will finally maybe turn out to be dying. Maybe these are things that were not done properly in the hatchery. You understand? Yeah, so for me, I personally prefer the foreign birds more than
But
the local
do you
ones.
try local one before?
Yes, I've tried local birds.
Okay, so you have the two.
Yes, because the thing is sometimes their laying span with the local one, it is short. Birds are supposed to live for, let's say, 1.5 years. They last for 2 years and then you sell them. That's 90 weeks. You understand the thing? But with local birds, for 50 weeks, you start seeing a lot of drop. And they easily get sick to maybe any weather, maybe changes in the weather and stuff. You quickly see them that maybe they fall sick or something, which at the end of the day, then that requires a lot of drugs. And their laying cycle is a problem. How the eggs are supposed to be big, they won't be big that way. You understand? And how they lay is never compared to the foreign beds.
So the price, which one is less?
Yeah, the foreign beds, the prices are always higher
Okay.
than the local one. This is as a reason because of the cost of flight and other stuffs. Yes.
Okay. So right now we are done with our brooding.
Yeah.
We got to
Next stage.
the next stage.
Okay. So after the brooding, you have to make sure you look at the number of beds you have. Then you see with every room there's a calculation to the room.
Okay.
The number of beds that needs to be in the room. For example, like this room is 2,300. That is this room.
Okay.
You get it. So you don't pack the beds more in the room. When you pack them more, one, they'll crowd and they'll die.
2,300.
300.
Okay.
Yes.
So what size this one requires?
Yes. So I will come there and then I will tell you the measurement because you can see there are brown beds here.
Yeah.
You understand? Yes. So what we do is the brown beds are bigger in what size.
Okay.
So the number of the brown that is there is lesser than the white. Look at the body weight.
Okay.
You understand? So this one is smaller. So sometimes you can go by the measurement, but fine. You also look at the body weight, the space, the way they are. This one is small, this one is big. So sometimes you have to use your calculation, or let me say, excuse me,
Experience.
your experience or your common sense to say that oh, this verse are
You read that one there.
yes.
In the car or something, if you are the small boys are inside, you can pick 5 or something, but adult can take only 4.
Oh, yes, you get it. So that is how it goes. So it depends on the one that is trying to enter. So that is the way it is.
Okay. So when it comes to the next stage, what medication that you give to them?
Okay, so normally with these stages, normally we go by antibiotic vitamins. We go by coccidiostat, being amprocure, amprolium, like any coccidiostat, this thing, drug. One, that is one of the key things. That is what makes the beds very strong. There are some farms, you see that today they will tell you, I've lost my beds maybe there, the physics, I've seen blood in it, I've seen this, I've seen that. Yes, this is a reason of maybe not giving them enough of the coccidiostat, the drug. That is the amprolium, amprocure, and all those stuffs. These are diseases that are, very normal when the birds are very young. If you don't treat them very well, or we have treatments and we have prevention in poultry. So prevention is a stage. Treatment, maybe you realize that no, they are sick, so let me treat them for 5 days. Then you treat them. Prevention, let me prevent it 3 days. You understand the thing? So from that stage, more of the coccidiostat, more of the antibiotic vitamin, more of the vitamins itself, and then your vaccinations. Every week we have, depending on where the birds come from, we have first Newcastle, we have first Gumro, we have second Newcastle, we have second Gumro. You understand? So maybe that is the difference between foreign birds are normally vaccinated. So when they come the first week, you not vaccinate them. The first 7 days, you not vaccinate them. Second week, you have to vaccinate. Third week, you have to vaccinate. But local birds, they will tell you vaccinate it in the first 7 days because they have not done the vaccination. Have you seen the difference? Yes. So it varies per where you get your birds from. That is where they will show you. Maybe if you are supposed to give the first Newcastle, maybe at this week, second, third, maybe second Gumro or whatever. Yes, because some normally give them the Gumro. You understand? Some companies they give them before they come, so you have to repeat the second one. You understand? So it depends on the vaccine they give the birds before they come, and they normally have a manual that you need to follow. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So they'll give a manual to if you come for the birds, they'll give you this, you follow this, do that. If some go as far as the medication, they'll give you a manual that you know that no, maybe these 3 days you have to give this, maybe plain water, you have to give coccidiostat, you have to give antibiotic vitamins, you have to give it plain water or anything. So it's part of it when you go and purchase the best. So
Okay. So once we are in the second stage, I need to ask this question before I ask you the second stage. So the barricade and the fluid, which one?
okay, this is a nice question that a lot of people ask. I always say it depends on the person. You understand? Because this was naturally made for a battery cage. That is why it's like this.
Okay.
But now you can see it's deep later.
Sure.
Because we realized that trying to fix the battery cage would like this building take a lot of battery cage, a lot of beds. Do you understand? Yes, by trying to install in the process of installing the battery cage, maybe you are going to incur so much. So on our side, we decided that no, the money that we are going to use to buy the battery cage, we are going to use that one to buy the beds and make sure our farm practices are very well. And here we are. You understand? Good. I've now gotten back to your question. Battery cage and then deep litter. It all depends on you. What I can say is with a deep litter, the chances of having the birds having infection is very high. One, because they play in the same litter.
Sure.
This litter here is as a result of sawdust, the feed you give them, and then their own feces. That is the three things that mix to become this.
Yeah, sure.
And this is a manure that people come and buy and give it to their tomatoes, pepper, and other stuffs. You get it. So on the other side, now even the manure they buy. They buy as far as maybe 10 cedis to 15 cedis, depending. You get it.
Per sack.
Per sack, per 50 kg. You understand? So it's more or less also serve as maybe an income. You understand? Good. So the chances of them getting infected, like with the deep litter, is very high.
Okay.
Because I mean they are exposed. They walk around, they pick things from anywhere. With a battery cage, they are restricted. They are restricted, so they don't pick anything from anywhere. The only thing they pick is they drink their water, they pick their food. That is it. But this one, they still take the water, take the feed, and play in this. So when normally what happens is with the deep litter, when let's say the drinker, the water pours, and you are not smart enough to maybe take the wet one out and they eat, it becomes what? An infection. It gives them an infection. And that is where the problem comes in. One, normally you are likely to get COSI, where blood will be in their what? Their feces. And if you don't take care, if you don't realize it early, you lose a lot of your birds during this stage. Yes. So battery cage, it's more profitable and more safe. There's low feed wastage when it comes to battery cage because they are restricted. The feed is just in something. You understand? But in the management of battery cage is very difficult because of what? The feces. So when the system is not properly built, you understand? The whole farm, it smells. When you are passing then you see a lot of house flies and this. So before you do a battery cage, you have to seriously do a lot of work. Sometimes maybe there's a strong water that will have to flash every morning. You understand? So that the place becomes neat. Because, for example, if you have to be having 10,000 birds like this, and then at the end of the day, every day you have to take feces. You know how it is.
Oh, I know.
The place will smell. You understand? So if the management will do everything properly, battery cage is one.
So the battery cage and this one, cost and labor, which one? The two?
No, with the battery cage, everything is less.
What are the costs?
The cost in installing. Hey, that is another. It's a whole distance, but during like that one thing about it is it will cost you so much for you to install it, but it will also help you. One,
labor will go down.
Yeah, labor goes down. Secondly, no feed wastage. Thirdly, like they don't easily get sick because they are restricted. They just pick from a direct source. That is it. You understand? Good. With a deep litter, it's all about the management. You understand? You can still do deep litter and still make the same profit. Why? You just have to maintain your litter, especially. That is the main thing. Your biosecurity has to be your key. People that are entering, people that are going, how well do you dispense your place? Make sure there is no wet litter. Make sure the litter too is not heaped. The more it is heaped, then there's ammonia inside. You understand the thing? The ammonia enters the eye. So even as a human being, when water pours on this and you enter, it will start entering your eye. Then you see water coming down your eye. How much more about the best? So that is where a lot of infection come. But if you can probably manage like as we've done here, this is the well managed deep litter. You can see it from this thing.
Yeah, sure.
There is no, you don't see any wet litter anywhere. So they play in it, they feel free. So I'm going to get the same production maybe that the battery cage you get. And at the end of the day, I'll still sell my litter when it is more. All depends on a good management.
Okay.
Whoever is managing. You understand? That is the main thing.
Okay, so this question. So how are you able to get if your birds are sick? If some is sick?
Okay. So normally it's more or less like a human being. The activeness of the bird. When you enter the room, first thing you have to observe. So one, you observe their movements. You can see their dial. Sometimes maybe they have gathered at one corner. sometimes you realize from the feed they don't eat much. Meanwhile, maybe previously they were eating. So you realize that no, there is something wrong. And you see, with the medicational charts, when the birds are new, there's a chart until they start laying. It's when they start laying that is when you don't administer so much. You understand? What you mostly need to do when they are laying is what you deworm them every 2 months or every 3 months. Then you give them your vitamin, the vitamin to boost them. You understand? You delice them because sometimes some of them have lice. You delice them and then you are good to go. So you don't buy much drug. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Yes. So that is. Then their activeness, and then one main key thing is their physics. When you see their physics, there's some color that realize that they are healthy. When you see physics with blood, that means there's sickness. So even the worker knows they know if I enter and I see this, I have to report to my manager that maybe I've seen blood in the physics of the this thing. And then quickly they buy the necessary drugs and then you prevent it or you treat it. You understand?
Okay.
So that it doesn't come again. But as I said, it is the managerial this thing that is the number one. How you deal with the things in your room. That is it. Because for I don't remember the last time we took mortality here. It's been something. The only thing is it was a little crowding whilst we were trying to do vaccination. That was all.
Okay. So how many weeks or how many months that you change the soda?
Sawdust, you don't have a limit to it. The reason is when you enter and you realize that the level is more, you have to take some out of it. When you realize and you say there's some place that is wet, you have to remove it and replace it with a new one. You don't wait till the litter heaps up. So it's something that I will not tell. I can't tell maybe every 2 months or every 3 months. When you get to the room and you realize that no, the ammonia content here is too much, take them off. Give them a fresh sawdust.
Okay. So the first soda, do you have medication that you put on it, or that's
Yes, we use disinfectants. You understand? As soon as you pour, you have to disinfect the place. You put it in a knapsack and then you spray the whole place altogether. You spray on the sawdust. If there is any virus, you understand, or maybe any insect or something in the sawdust, because of the disinfectant, it will drive them away or it will kill them. That is it.
so you move the birds to different.
No.
No, I'm talking about once you are giving.
No. You spray. You don't.
Okay.
It's something they take. You understand? It's not maybe that if you give it to them, maybe at the end of the day they won't die.
Okay. So how many days they will start laying?
Laying.
Yeah.
The laying depends on whoever. It's the management. As I said, these ones are 50. They laid at 15 weeks.
Okay.
Some ones best laid at 18 weeks. The reason is the management, your feed, your water, and your workers.
So like, do you have a particular time for until they need to lay out this?
Normally 16 weeks everywhere.
Okay. So after 16 weeks, okay, you say some can use 18. So if it's 18 weeks, my birds are not layer. What
So
step I need to?
okay, so first of all, you need to ask yourself just a simple question. How do you feed your bird? Do you feed them maybe the standard way that we need to feed birds? The standard feed, the quantity that they need to add, do you give them the water, the medication, do you give them? Because if you are to give these things 16 weeks upwards, you should pick your egg.
Okay. So maybe the person have a challenge. That's why it's watching this video. And if
Yes, so when you find yourself in this situation, one, depending secondly on where you to get the best, first thing, call the company and report to them. Because is the company that is bringing the best, so it's their best, they know. You understand? Then second, you check your activities on the farm. You check the feed, because the feed, we have a lot of phases. You understand? As I said again, we have starter, we have grower, you understand? We have developer, we have pre-layer, and then we have layer one, and we have layer two.
Okay.
So as a point, every stage, when you get there, there is a time you change. You understand the thing? Yes. So the person has to ask himself, what am I doing? You understand? What have I done wrong? But normally, I believe if you should go the right way, the prescribed way, the standard one, you should be able to pick your eggs 16 weeks. At least, just even if you pick one, it's egg. You understand? Yes.
Okay. So you say after 1.5 years they will stop laying, or
No, not birds are normally we keep them for 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
And the birds you are keeping them for let's say 16 weeks.
16.
You
Okay.
understand? For them to start laying. You understand? So 16 weeks automatically is like almost 4 months.
Okay.
4 months. You get it?
Okay.
Before the birds can break even, that is before they themselves, the laying. You understand? Because when they start laying the 16th week, just one. They will all not start the 16th week. Oh.
Okay.
It's just some particular one. It's like maybe we are all together. There are
Some
some
of them
people that
go.
will be faster.
Go.
So those that are faster will lay early. You understand?
Okay.
And but if you do your thing, you see that there's an average growth. For example, like this birds, you can see they are average. The distance is average. You can
Sure.
see when you see their comb, you can see that it's difficult before you see that some is more than it's only one. It's average.
Sure.
So this one is a uniform growth. So this one, when they start laying, you see them, they start increasing. By 24 weeks, they should break even. Break even means they should be able to cater for their own feed, water, workmanship and other stuffs during that time. By then, you should have your production. You should have half of it, more than it, 60 to 70. You understand? That is it.
Okay. So if they will, if you like, they will stop laying. What sign that they will show that we see that this bird will.
So as I said, it's a cycle. You understand? So let's say break even, that is 24 weeks. 24 weeks means 6 months. You understand? So take 6 months from 2 years. It's 1.5 years. So they are going to lay for you 1.5 years in addition to their 6 months already that they've taken, making 2 years. So by 90 weeks, they are now spent layers. We call them spent layers because they've laid. So now you have to push it to the market. You understand? And sell it. So but along the line, when you realize your birds are not laying, go the normal way. It's like someone being pregnant. You understand? When you go, there's some medication they won't give you. It's still like the best. When the best lay, let's say they start laying, there are some drugs we don't administer
Okay.
to them. The most things we do, it's your deworming, the lysine, and then your vitamin. And then we have your coccidiostat. Coccidiostat, we have a lot. That's something when they are laying, you can't give them. Because when you give them one, maybe it doesn't make the meat of the fowl safe for someone to consume. You understand? And it's all written boldly on the drugs. But people don't really take some of these things serious. Even to the eggs, it's not even safe. Because they write it boldly. Maybe it's not good for meat. You understand? But there is some that you can give us at that stage. The egg, when you sell them, is good for our health. Do you understand the thing? So when you realize these things, then you go back to your drawing board and you ask yourself, did you deworm? What was the last time you dewormed? Then you check. If you have not dewormed, then you go and buy a correct dewormer. You give them. There are some that are for 1 day or 2. After deworming, then you give them pure vitamin or just any good vitamin. Give them for 3 days. You understand? And then you check on their skin if there is lice. You understand? So in checking the lice, what do? Normally, you have to hold them like this, then you check from here. So you see it in their feathers. You understand the thing?
Okay.
Yeah. So when the lice is there, you see they'll start working. So you see them, you get it. Or sometimes you can just go down here, and then you check it. So
Okay. You say after if they stop laying, you take them to the market. Markets like where? If you can explain to me.
no marketers, and you are selling them.
Okay.
They are done. They have laid for you.
So
They are tired.
you do
Go
it
and sell
for
them.
meat.
Yeah, for meat.
So like Christmas like this, you can just.
Yeah, Christmas you can sell. There are bulk buyers that are from Accra, Cantonment, everywhere. There are a lot of people who come as far as from Cote d'Ivoire to come and buy. That is in large quantities. But maybe if you want to sell 50-50, that one, then you can depend on the community or the local market. You get it. Yeah, depending on the number of your flock, the number of birds you have, you get it. But after 2 years, normally the birds are not really profitable. That is the thing. After 2 years, the birds are not really profitable. But maybe you might be watching me somewhere. The thing is how you do your management. There are some people that their birds are 90 weeks and their performance is very good. So they can choose to keep it for another 6 months or something. That is them. You understand? But the general mindset is we all believe when they are 90 weeks, they have done their work, most of their work. Because they see the production is start reducing when they are growing. How they start like young girls, when they get to their 45 weeks, 50, they start reducing. Then you see the egg start coming down. The egg start coming down. So this is what happens.
So in the production, do you able to get 100%? If your best are 1,000, can you get 1,000?
I will not put that in anyone's mind. Yes, because there are some that don't lay, and the best they don't always lay. Like don't expect everybody to lay in a day. Some will lay today, some will lay tomorrow. So that is it. So for your 95, 97, 98, even sometimes 99, you are entitled to it. But
Okay.
these are figures that don't really keep, you understand. But a good management, you can maintain between the 90s to the 98, some even to, let's say, about 3 4 months. That means your management is very good.
Okay.
You understand? Yes.
Okay. So your daily activity.
All right. So the delivery activities is normally you wake up very early. There is one good thing that you have to know about birds. Birds are pets. So how you train them, they become that way. So me, for my advice to every farmer out there is try to feed your birds very early. If you can give them light at dawn, give them the light. Some even give them light throughout. You understand? But when you feed them early, you get your production very early. Sometimes by 1 o'clock or just say one, you should be having about almost your 80 to 90% of production when you feed very well. So here we feed very early. We wake up by 4:30. That's when we start. That is our practice here. You understand? So by 6, we are done with everything. Or 6:30, then we are complete. Because we are expecting that by 12 to 1, then we are done with most of our production. Because if we have to sell, if by that time we have taken, let's say, 90% of our production, then the car can go for distribution. So it's 3 times something. We wake up and then we feed them in the morning. We feed them around 11 to 12 again. Then we feed them finally 3 o'clock. And then we pick our eggs 3:30. And then we go.
Okay.
So that is it. So it's feeding and water, picking of eggs.
So a day, how many times do you feed them?
We feed them 3 times.
Okay.
So the morning one starting from 5 something to maybe 6:30 or 7. You understand? And the afternoon one from 11:30 to 12 there you begin. So by 12:30 you are done. Then 3 o'clock you do your final one. The same thing applies to one. If you are having an automated water system like this, as you can see, so the water supply comes freely. So you don't bring in the manual one like this.
Sure.
You
Okay.
understand? And there are places where you have automated feeding these things. So that one, the feed comes direct. So the workers, this thing is just to clean the thing and pick the eggs. You understand? But if it's a manual system, then you do the feeding yourself, and then you watch the drinkers also. And then if it's medication, you measure. In every medication, is measurement. If you don't calculate it very well and you give it to overdose, you will worry the best, especially depending on the drug. So that is it. The feeding is 3 times. The water is automatic, so it goes throughout. We don't close it. So that is it.
Okay. This question, I know that most of somebody want to start poultry don't want to listen. What's a challenge that if somebody starts out, the person will go to?
Okay, so the challenge is, I would say sometimes about your works, the staffs, your workers. Normally, people come with this idea that, oh, when I set up a poultry farm, maybe one baby, I mean, they will steal me, they will do that, this and this and this. So this is a little advice. There are some people that have the money, but if they want to enter, sometimes they want to enter big. You have to study the business, start small, have an organic growth, start small and see the picture of the way the business is. If it's 1,000 that you take, get ready and take the 1,000. Then employ 1 or 2 staffs. Let them start laying and know how the thing is. You understand? Fine. After that, there are some workers. Now, I think when you pass there, they will tell you theft, 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 theft. So what do? You install CCTV cameras. You understand? And then you have a good management, as in your manager and your workers. But you treat them well. These are some of the things. Most people, they don't treat their workers well. And at the end of the day, they end up saying, oh, my workers are stealing me. Fine. Yes, sometimes you can even be good to them and they keep stealing. So if you are good to them, so you install cameras. So anyone that maybe you get, then you know what to do, whether to sack the person or arrest the person. That is it. So the advice is start small, move gradually, move step by step. Maybe just plan this year, maybe I want to have 1,000 birds. Then 1,000 birds, the next year you take 1,500. Realize how the business is. You understand? Since you are new to it, you don't have any experience about it. So start with something small. It's not that you face the challenges in the business. One, how the birds will behave, maybe the sicknesses that are available in the community. So when you start small, you realize that, oh, maybe then I have this idea, then I'm safe to move to 2,000. I'm safe to move to 3,000. So first of all, make sure you have an idea about the whole concept. Start it small. You understand? Even if you have the money, start it small. Since you don't have the knowledge, start it small and have the experience you yourself. Have it yourself, not your manager or whatever. Even if you have a good manager, fine, yes, that is the best thing you could have. But in as much as that you are the work owner, so you need to have an experience about the whole job. So start small, you understand the thing, then you move gradually. Gradually. That is when even you get to know the correct workers, the correct staffs. These are some of the key things. And then you also realize that no, this is what I have to do at this stage, this is what I have to do. Then you have the experience as the what? As the work owner. In poultry, you don't invest your money when you're not ready to invest your time. Because poultry is every day something. They don't go to holidays. They don't go to vacation. You understand?
They eat every day.
They eat every day. They drink every day. You understand? And people are here. They are supposed to be here and be working. So it's an all-round something. So you need to what? Invest your time in this business.
Okay. So you are saying somebody to start they to start small. So somebody will check out I need to get workers, I need to get this. So if a month, but 3 months that the birds are not start laying.
No, so let's say
So,
just put it 6 months.
so the person will pay the work
Yes,
staff
that
for
is what
6 months before.
we call it Operation Feed Free. We call it Operation Feed Free because you'll not be getting anything from that time. You understand? And sometimes our poultry is something that when you're about to enter something, you have to get somebody that will psych your mind. For example, maybe I'm telling you, know that after 6 months, that is when you start seeing something. You understand? Yes. Don't just go in it and full say maybe after 3 months you want to get the money. Well, they will start laying by 3 months. And when they even start laying, they will not, all of them will not start one day. They will start step by step, gradually, until they get to their peak. Do you get it?
Okay.
Yes.
So if I want to start 10,000 birds, what advice will you give to me?
Fine.
My goal is to start 10,000.
10,000 is a good idea. All I'll ask you, get a professional. That is a huge capacity. You understand? And in fact, you are going to spend a lot on feed. You get it? So you have to be ready, one, with your structure. There is one thing about people. They can build a structure. They can go and buy the beds. You understand? But when it comes to the feeding, then there's problem. So be prepared. That's what I'm saying. Start small. Know that this is what your money can take care of. Know that this is like your workers will be treated right. I mean, everything is on point. That is what I mean by starting small. Don't try and say maybe you have 10,000, but along the line, then maybe there are some petty things that you need to do for the bed to lay well, and maybe you lack that thing. You understand? So, in taking about 10,000 beds, my best advice to the person is one: get a committed staff. Because the number is huge. It's a lot of figures we are talking. Yes, it's two things. If the person has the resources and has the staffs, has everything in order, the person can go straight. You understand? And has the market. There is always one thing about this business. Have your market. Know who you sell to. That is one thing. Because sometimes you get to know that you say, Uncle Shoebu, the egg is in the system, blah, blah. It's all this thing. Know your market. You understand? Then after knowing your market, you come back to your own self. Do I have the capital to take care of them? Because it's capital intensive. Poultry takes a lot of money. Even to construct a structure, it's not easy. To pay the workers, it's not easy. Water, it is not easy. You understand? Because one, you need to have a room for where the workers will sleep, where even you put feed, where you need to do 1 or 2 stars. That's why I said start small and get the things done properly. You understand? So if the person has all the resources and can start, get a good staff. That is my good advice. Then get a good breed from a correct company. You understand? Because bears are about breeds, where they come from. You can go and pick from some maybe companies or some breed, and at the end of the day, they won't help you. You understand? You see that you've messed up. The laying will not be proper. So when you are going to book for bears, get a good company, ask people, get their recommendations, and then go and order from those kind of companies. You understand? Then on the other hand, my advice is if the person can divide it, especially even into 2 or 3, let's say 5,000 first. So when the birds start laying, you understand? Now you get the idea about how the whole system is. Then about 6 months, then quickly you go and book the additional 5,000 again. One, those ones have started laying, so now they've started bringing something. Then you can be using that one to feed the other 5,000 that you've come for. That is the organic growth I'm talking of. Okay. But if the pay maybe, you see, somebody can say I want 10,000 straight. Maybe that person's vision is I want to have maybe 50,000. There are people that are having about maybe 300,000 bears. You understand? A huge capacity. So it depends on the person's vision and the person's what pocket. You understand? So the organic growth is You have to look at it and then systematically, because when you produce and you don't have people to sell to, then you're not in business. You
Okay.
understand it? The thing is, poultry is not about a challenge. That yeah, people do a lot of mistake in that era. Like, oh, madam,
As far as the burgers.
yes, I want to challenge maybe madam for you. You're like this one has 5,000. Yeah, I want to begin. It's not about challenge.
Burgers they do
You
because they
understand?
say, oh, okay, the person can get, he get, I mean, 10,000,
10,000.
20,000 best, so he gets this amount of money. So I want to
I want to
go
do this.
times 2 of
And
it.
yes, and I come back to sometimes you, the bloggers, and ourselves. The figures we put out there, you understand? The figure, you can go and be watching somebody who quotes a huge figure. Fine, it depends. You understand? It's two things.
Oh, because I remember like your interview. I share like last, is getting to 2 years.
Yes.
I shared that thing to one of the group, and the way they beat me for the group, I said, okay. So they said no, if the calculation I did, so I changed the amount because as far I make a mistake with my calculation. So the way they are comment the
so you realize that the
so
figures
no,
we put
so,
out there.
So I think one of I do once a friend. So into the group and he said that I make mistake. But is it like, and I want to explain to him, I said no. The way I explained to him, I said that I make mistake. So he said no, if anything that at least I should make it, if they are 10,000, make it 85, so that at least they will not get.
You don't make 100% of the thing.
Yeah.
You understand?
So if any amount I want to calculate, I can calculate to it.
Yes.
So he helped me on that. So I changed the title and said, okay, then
good.
Correct the age.
Yes.
So okay.
Yes. So for example, let's use like 10,000, 1,000 best. Averagely, where I stand, I can tell you can make like in between 10,000 to 15. Somebody can say you can make like 10,000 to 18,000, depending on where you buy your feed from, how many workers you have, the things, whether you buy water or you have maybe pipe this thing or use borehole. These factors are all in. Location is part. So before maybe we have a standard something, so I can't just come and stand here. Yes. So not the range is normally from 10,000.
But you are saying most of the content creators to create this thing, but sometimes they want the numbers. Because
no, the reason why I said that is you don't get me.
I get you, but
maybe somebody quotes a figure.
Yeah.
Say maybe I make this at the end of the month. At the end of the month, it's that we have feed involved. We have water. We have worker, staffs, transport up and down, fuel. You understand? Electricity. Maybe the person has not detected all these things. Now I'll both figure natural, sir. Then you also, you see, if you don't ask them, so the person will be like, oh, I saw somebody and the person is making, then the business is lucrative. But you need to break down and tell you that, oh, if you take maybe workers, if you take water out of it or all these expenses out of it, you get this. That is what I'm telling you. It depends on the person, the things you use. You understand? Because at the end of the day, we all have a lot of things we use.
So that's why I see the pipe from
you see borehole.
Somebody to buy from
Ghana water.
So that
and
one
then someone
expensive.
Uses a tanker.
Yeah,
you understand? So you see that the cost with a tanker will go higher.
That's why I spend the money once.
You understand it? So it depends on whoever is giving you that calculation.
Sure.
You understand? So that is it.
Okay, so I get more costs and people are more disappointed.
Yes.
Because people send money to
them
outside to other African countries, Ghana and stuff, and the people disappoint them, family members, friends and stuff. And somebody will ask me, say, so do you have a company that's able to help people to build their?
Yes. So currently that's where we are. You know, when in my first interview, I have my own bet. You understand?
Sure.
And then I realized that where we are getting to, we are advancing. You understand? Everything is going online. Then you come across comments where people even take your number. They will call you, this and this, consultation, blah, blah, blah. And then later they will tell you, oh, I trusted someone with my money. And later, even the person went to take a picture of someone's building, someone's farm, and sent it to me that that's my farm. For the person just to come to Ghana or come to the country and realize that there is nothing. So we have come up with something. We have surveyors, you understand? We have legit people that where you want to get the land, you get it. So we have masons, we have carpenters, we have plumbers that will set up the whole system, you get it. And we have people that will help you in the brooding, experts. So if you pay for their services, we ask them to come to your end. We do a checkup, we do a follow-up. You understand? It's a team, so we move in a team. So they are experts that are in the structure this thing. So we coordinate from the structure to the carpentry work. Finally, we know the concrete, every room has to be level. We check all these technical things. From there, we show the right company to buy the beds. You pay directly to them. When you are paying for your beds, you pay directly to them. Secondly, also, when it has to do with feed, you, the owner, if you have a trusted person, you deal with the person. We are only dealing with the consultation. We are only trying to manage on one side for you. So we can help you with the building, have the professionals, good masons building for you, good carpenters roofing, you understand, good companies to direct you to for you to go and buy the best, good companies to direct you to for you to go and buy the feed, and then recommend people that sometimes can work for you. You understand? If you have your own staffs, we train them. We come and spend some time there, train them from the brooding stage. Even sometimes we can even train them to the workers up to the time they start to lay. When they break even, they will leave. We are out of the picture. Depending on whoever wants to what employ our services.
But other questions, they say that if there's a company, they charge more because so the person want to go some substance and
Yes, and this is the problem. Normally, in cases like this, people don't try to go the right way because when they go to the companies, they believe they will charge them more. So they also go and look for maybe fall on friends, families, and other stuff. And at the end of the day, before you realize what you are trying to avoid, then you have the more harm has been caused to you. You get it? Yes. So in all these things, I mean, you can have your people. We can train them for you. We can help in the structure. We bring the experts because one, this structure, you can see this one is well built. You get it? Well built. So in structure like when you are trying to put a structure like this, you have to really use good items. Maybe there are people that you send and they won't buy the good items for you. Maybe 2 years, something wouldn't even get to 2 years. You start seeing, say, there's a lot of holes, there's a lot of things that are spoiling. You
I see
understand?
this one quality.
Yes. So that's why I said you can see this is a wall structure, this thing. You can see the pillars in the middle. You understand the thing. So one, and this is for someone who is not in the country. You get it? Yes, even for us to pick this base, the person was not here. He was joining the structure this thing. You understand? So we picked this base on the 12th of August. And they laid before even the person came to the country.
Wow.
You understand? They laid at the 15th week. You get it?
Okay.
So we are just a trusted brand for that. Anybody can call on us. I mean, we will come to your place. We advise you on what to do from the structure, setting up the structure. If you want the services of a mason carpenter, we are going to give you professional ones that will help you to set up your place. You understand?
Okay. I think that the video has been long, so we do the next video. So what the video to the end, and the next video will be this year, and you click. So your telephone in case somebody want to contact you.
All right. So my first number is 0540 669940. So 020 56 00402. That's the Vodafone line.
So this one is a company line.
Yeah, this is a company line.
So the other one is your personal line.
Yes, my personal line.
Okay.
So 020 56 00402.
Okay.
Yes, that's the official line.
But if you send me, if you know my number already, WhatsApp, I can send to you direct. So thank you for watching. Like the video, share and subscribe. Please click this side to watch our next video. We will do more about poultry. So see you.